What is going on, everybody? You got Tone here, bringing you my major Pokemon League week number 8 battle. This week we are taking on Turbo Blaze and his Phoenix Midnights. So it's been quite a while since I last did anything in terms of the major Pokemon League or major PL, whatever you want to call it. Mainly because this battle was supposed to be up last Thursday, but there were some scheduling conflicts and whatnot, and Turbo was very busy with college. I had my own thing to do with college as well, so we had to we didn't really try to like put it off, but it was just kind of hard to schedule because of our conflicting schedules. But we finally got the battle done. Had to do it on Showdown because we were already late with the battle and we didn't want to put it off any longer than it already had to be. So with all that being said, I'm just going to quickly run down Turbo's entire team. His team consists of Mega Gardevoir, Zapdos, Zygarde 50%, Alolan Muck Kartana, Miltank, Jellicent, Terrakion, Alolan Persian, Combuskin, and Rampardos, with his offensive Zmon user being Terrakion and his Super Zmon being the Alolan Persian. So just from a team matchup, it's going to be very, very difficult for me to get to not stress the fact that Zygarde is a humongous problem for my team, considering I don't really have a ground resist. My ground resist is Torterra, but Torterra has such a bad matchup against everything else on his team. I couldn't bring it, so my best bet to deal with Zygarde was to try to just bring stuff that can check it from an offensive standpoint. I do have some Pokemon that can come in and take hits from Zygarde, as well as other threats, especially stuff like the Kartana can be a really, really big pain for my team, although I do have stuff like Arcanine and Tornadus that can check it pretty decently. So just gonna run down the team that I built, that was built for this battle. So the condensed version for this is we have a modest Choice Scarf Nidoqueen with Stealth Rock, Earth Power, Sludge Wave, and Ice Beam, mainly just to catch his faster threats like Zygarde, or non-Yachi Zygarde at least, off guard. I put Stealth Rock on there. I initially had Thunderbolt, but Thunderbolt was mainly there for Jellicent, and I can just whittle that thing down with Earth Power if I get the opportunity to just lock myself into that. And Stealth Rock was just thrown into there just because my only Stealth Rockers on my team is either Nidoqueen or Torterra, so it didn't really make any sense to try to bring Torterra if the matchup is so bad. Next up is a fully physically defensive Mega Scizor with U-Turn, Bullet Punch, Roost, and Hidden Power Ice for the Zygarde. So this is one of my main responses, or perhaps my main switch in to the Zygarde, because it's the only real thing on my team that can take hits from unboosted Zygarde 50%, try to keep that thing in check. Next up we have a mixed defensive Arcanine with Toxic, Roar, Morning Sun, Flamethrower. It has kind of like a convoluted spread, but I don't remember what it was for because I built this team so long ago. But mainly this is my way of checking stuff like the Kartana. I have Toxic here to wear down the Jellicent, the Miltank, all that stuff. Then we have a Choice Specs Primarina, Scald, Moonblast, Energy Ball, and the Aqua Jet. Energy Ball is mainly just here for the Jellicent, but outside of that, nothing really much to hit it with, and an Aqua Jet's this night for the priority. Then we have pretty much the main win con of the team. We're bringing back Snore-lax this week. Curse, Recycle, Facade, and Crunch. I was on the fence with the coverage move on Snore-lax between Crunch and Fire Punch to hit the Kartana, but I figured since Kartana has access to Sacred Sword, which bypasses any curse boosts that I would get, it would kind of be a waste trying to step in front of the face of a Kartana knowing it gets Sacred Sword, and I figured Jellicent would be the primary switch into Snore-lax anyway, just to stop it from spamming its normal stab, so I went with Crunch instead. And lastly, we have our Tornadus Therian, which is Chardy Berry with Toxic, Hidden Power Ice, Sludge Bomb, and Grass Knot. This is my response to This let me switch in, take a Stone Edge from a non-Z move Terrakion, because I'm really expecting the thing to be like a Rock Polish set, because Terrakion can whittle things down on my team, even weakening my Mega Scizor, put it in range to where Zygarde can come in, set up, and just destroy my team, which is what kind of what the structure of his team was suggesting at this point when I saw the team preview. Grass Knot is here just for the mainly for the Terrakion. It also lets me do some damage to the Jellicent, Hidden Power Ice, hits the Zygarde, and still 2 KOs Kartana because of its crap special defense. And then Toxic is just here to put stuff like Jellicent on a timer for my Snore-lax. So the main objective is try to make sure I can put myself in a position where Snore-lax can clean up in the late game. So what I want to do here, judging by the team he brought, he decided to bring Mega Gardevoir, Zapdos, Terrakion, Jellicent, and Zygarde, 50%, and the Miltank. The fact that he didn't bring the Alolan Muck suggested to me that either the Miltank or the Jellicent was going to be a lot more specially oriented. So despite all that, I still found it in my best interest to leave Primarina and just click Moonblast, because he did not bring any Fairy Resist, and on top of that, everything takes a crap ton from the Moonblast. So let's ready to start the battle here and see how we do. So like I said, I'm going to leave with my Primarina, he's going to leave up with his Miltank, and he's just going to go up and get up his rocks here. I'm going to fire off a Moonblast and do a clean 71%. With Vici's leftovers, I'm going to go for the Body Slam. He gets the crit, which does suck, but I get to fire off another Moonblast, take out the Miltank, and one threat is gone. But now we go out into the Zygarde here, which does suck, because if the crit hadn't happened, I would have been in a better position to avoid being taken out by 1,000 Arrows, but it depends on a couple of factors, mainly whether or not this Zygarde is choice banned, for one, or if it's not, then it's kind of a roll at this point, even with the crit. Like I said, if the crit didn't happen, then I would have been out of range, I believe. It depends on its investment of 1,000 Arrows, but at the same time, I don't want to switch anything out. And I figured if I live, I can fire off a Moonblast and kill this thing, so and looking at the rest of the matchup Primarina had against his team, there was nothing I could really just switch into and take a hit, because I'm already kind of weakened as it is, and it is Zygarde staring me in the face. So we're going to click Moonblast here, as he is going to go for the 1,000 Arrows, and we live on 5%, and then we take out the Zygarde with Moonblast. So an immense threat is gone here. Like I said, Zygarde 50% was a huge problem. The fact that I got Primarina lived the 1,000 Arrows on 5%, which is absolutely crazy in my eyes. I was literally floored, to be perfectly honest. But in any case, since my Primarina is going to die to re-entry on Stealth Rock, and I don't have any hazard removal on the team I brought, I'm just going to let my Primarina go down. It more than did its job and deserved a well-deserved rest. He's going to click Hyper Voice and take out my Primarina. Now here I'm going to make the play and go into my Scizor here, and just figured that, okay, he knows I have Bullet Punch. I'm thinking he's going to try to preserve this Mega Gardevoir for the rest of my team. So I'm going to make a play, and I'm going to Mega Evolve and click U-turn here, expecting him to go on something like Zapdos. But he actually calls my prediction and stays in and clicks Hidden Power Fire and takes out my Mega Scizor. So that was kind of a bad misjudgment on my part. Either way, Bullet Punch would have done a tremendous amount of damage to Mega Gardevoir, unless it was like max HP or some investment to ensure that Bullet Punch doesn't kill, but he didn't know that I wasn't running attack investment, so it probably would have lived even if I did click Bullet Punch. But nonetheless, now here I'm going to go with my Nidoqueen. The fact that I went hard Nidoqueen on Mega Gardevoir should be screaming in Turbo's mind that I am indeed running a Choice Scarf set. So I'm just going to click Sludge Wave here. It's pretty free. He didn't bring his Kartana, so it's not the end of the world. So I'm just going to click Sludge Wave here. We get off a good chunk of damage here. They tried to go for a substitute. Probably expecting me to bluff the choice scarf with some set, but I wasn't bluffing in this case. So since he failed to make a substitute, I have him on the back foot. I could have switched out into like Tornadus here, but I figured that just clicking Sludge Wave again to get damage off on something incoming would be the more beneficial play at this point. So he's going to go out and go hard to a Jellicent, which does resist Sludge Wave. So now this gives me an opportunity to go out into my Arcanine. And why I went out to Arcanine is the fact that Arcanine isn't really doing much for this battle. He didn't bring the Kartana, which means that I can just get up a Toxic, put something on the timer, and Terrakion beats Arcanine 1v1 anyway. So I wasn't going to try to force that issue there. So we do get the Toxic off on the incoming Terrakion here. Probably expecting me to go for like a Will-O-Wisp or something. I'm not sure. But I'm going to let my Arcanine drop here to the Earthquake. I don't want to take anything else on my team to take damage. Now here I make a misplay here. A misclick. Because the play here wasn't to go directly into my Nidoqueen. The play was to go into Torn and Scout for the Earthquake, because there's a possibility that he could be Scarf Terrakion, but I didn't really think he would be Scarf in this situation, considering that something more like a Rock Polish set looked a lot more beneficial, because all he had to do was take out my Mega Scizor, and the rest would take care of itself afterwards. So like I said, I make a misplay going hard Nidoqueen. I'm going to try to correct that, and going to make a double into Tornadus, and hopefully he's not going to predict me and go for Stone Edge. So we're going to go hard into Tornadus here, hoping he doesn't click Stone Edge, and he just clicks Earthquake again. So I still don't know if this thing is Scarf yet, but by the way he stayed in, it's looking like he's Scarf, but I can't really guarantee that, because of the fact that I locked myself in the Sludge Wave. I locked myself in the Sludge Wave on the previous turn. I'm pretty sure he doesn't want me to go for that again. I would lock myself in the Earth Power, but free switching for the Zapdos. So at that point, I figured why just try to correct myself. So I get the prediction right. I still don't know if he's Stone Edge or not. I don't think he was trying to predict my Torn. So what I'm going to do now is fire off a Toxic here on the off chance he does not want to stay in here. I know it's a ballsy play, because if he wasn't if he's not Scarf Terrakion, he would try to go for a Stone Edge to take me out. But I figured he tried to preserve Terrakion he decided to preserve the Terrakion, knowing that I have the Snore-lax in the back, which does hinder the rest of his team. So I'm gonna go for a Toxic, trying to read that, and I catch the Zapdos coming in on the switch, so that thing is now on a timer. I'm not going to stay in here. I'm gonna go directly into my Nidoqueen, try to pressure this thing out. But he's gonna make a solid play. Not really a prediction here, because he goes for Hidden Power Ice. Does 43% here. Now I had a little bit of a 50, not really a 50-50. It was more of, what do I want more in this situation? Do I want damage on Zapdos with Ice Beam, or do I want to get up Rocks? Because right now, if I want to get up Stealth Rocks, the only chance I have to do that is right now. And with Rocks also ensures the fact that Mega Gardevoir dies on re-entry. So I figured I'd take the opportunity, instead of going for Ice Beam here, I'm just going to go and click Stealth Rock here, and sack off my Nidoqueen to the Hidden Power Ice from the Zapdos. So Nidoqueen goes down here. We're down 2-4, but it allows me to go into my Snore-lax here, and I am just going to attempt to bring it back here. He's going to Volt Switch, and he's going to go directly into his Gardevoir to sack it off the Scout and see what I was going to do first. So I'm just going to get up a Curse. I figured it was my best chance to try to bring it back here, but it comes out the Terrakion. Now, I didn't do any calcs prior to this, but now that I'm at +1, it's a chance I live the incoming close combat here, but it's a roll in his favor, I believe, if I recall correctly. So what I wanted to do at this point, it was kind of an iffy situation, because I need Terrakion gone. At the same time, I want to see if my Snore-lax can take this close combat, and I still don't know if the Terrakion's guaranteed Scarf or not, the way he's been playing it throughout this game. So what I'm going to do is I want to go for the Recycle here on the off chance I do live close combat. And look at that, we live on 5% again. So I'm assuming it was a roll here. We activated our Figgy Berry. I'm gonna recycle the Figgy Berry, get it right back. Now I could have made a read here and gone into my Tauren, which is what he was expecting here, because the next close combat definitely would have taken out my Snore-lax from this range, considering this first one did 67. But again, it was still kind of like, it's a 50-50 in my mind, because I still don't know if it's Terrakion Scarf. I probably said that about multiple times now. So I'm just gonna click Facade, try to get damage on the Terrakion here, because all I really needed was a little bit of chip, and then Tornadus would just come in and click Hidden Power Ice, take out the Zapdos, and then if he wasn't Scarf, I outspeed it. I click Grass Knot on the incoming Terrakion, and then Jellicent I have the Grass Knot for plus Toxic and all that stuff. So yeah, so I'm just gonna click Facade here, just trying to get some damage off. And we do a good chunk, and we trigger his Rocky Helmet. But because he was Rocky Helmet, he actually put me in range where I get my Figgy Berry right back, consume it, and we're almost back at full here. He's gonna Volt Switch. So this pretty much guarantees that Zapdos dies or re-entry. In comes the Jellicent. I'm gonna click Curse one more time because he cannot. Apparently he doesn't bring anything that can touch my Snore-lax, and that's gonna burn with Will-O-Wisp, which is absolutely great. First I'm gonna recycle the Figgy Berry just in case. Now I'm gonna click Crunch. After he goes for the Scald here, we click Crunch here, and that still does 50%. I'm at +2 and I'm burned. But because the burn damage puts me back, giving back my Figgy Berry. So now I'm gonna click the Recycle one more time as income the Terrakion one more time. I know I can take a close combat. I'm at +2 defense now. It probably gonna do like about 65%ish. So he's gonna click close combat. It actually does 50. So I take back what I said. So now I'm gonna go for the Facade here. Take out the Terrakion from -1 defense. And all he has left is the Jellicent and the Zapdos. Zapdos dies to Stealth Rock on re-entry. So now I'm just going to keep spamming Crunch at this point. He's going to keep spamming Scald. And we take out the Jellicent, and then we take out, then Zapdos dies to the Stealth Rock, so that's a kill for Nidoqueen. And we're going to pick up a 2-0 win over Turbo and the Phoenix Midnight. So first off, a very solid game to Turbo. He definitely caught me off guard. He told me afterwards it was indeed Scarf Terrakion, but the way I played kind of would have shown a lot sooner, because of the fact of I actually missed it on my misclick when I went Nidoqueen on the Terrakion. It actually showed he was Scarf because he stayed in. I revealed I was Scarf Nidoqueen before he revealed Scarf Terrakion, so it made sense in that retrospect that I just missed that one part. But I think everything else went pretty smoothly. I made a couple of ballsy plays, especially with the Terrakion versus Snore-lax play, when he could have easily just close combated me and destroyed my team. Well, destroyed my Snore-lax, because my Snore-lax was pretty much the only thing I had left in the back that would be able to bring the game back in my favor. So I was trying to be as aggressive as possible with my plays toward the end, especially with my Snore-lax. Because like I said, I was trying to set my Snore-lax in a situation where it would put myself in the best position to win, and I felt as though I did that in this battle. So with that, we are now 4-4 with a +3 differential. So the playoff race is really heating up now. There's only one more game to play before playoffs start, and we are right in the middle of the playoff hunt. It's actually just down between me and one other person, Onesie Bayonet. We have a chance to clinch. One of us gets a chance to clinch a playoff spot, and it just so happens that our last game of the regular season is against Onesie Bayonet and the Birmingham Spritzy. So the winner goes on to the playoffs, and the loser goes home and is eliminated. So hopefully we can clinch that last spot and try to make some noise in the playoffs. So nonetheless, if you guys did enjoy, leave a like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Also, I'm going to leave a link to Turbo's channel, as well as all the other coaches in the MPL in the link in the description down below. Feel free to check them out at your displeasure. So, like I said, it's been a long road, but we're about to reach the end. One more week to go. It's win or go home. That's all it is to it. This is literally my playoff match, in my estimation. It's like an extra playoff match for my last week of the season. So nonetheless, I'm gonna get the heck out of here. Hope you guys did enjoy, and until the next time, guys, my name's Anthony, aka Tone, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the flip side. Later.